Good morning, folks. It's 9:52 a.m. on the 17th day, 6th month, 2023. Excuse me. Yes, I'm rolling. I'm having a stomach upset issue, and so if I burp or hiccup a little bit, it's because of the bicarb I just took. Yes, good quality magnesium. Right, what I'm looking at here is a prime example of how to guide a storm through fields of radar. And it took many of them to do this. And so I'm going to roll through this a little bit, and then I'm going to go show you Oz is doing this as well. I don't know why he's doing that. Pinning it, right? Hang on, I'm going to do a little something here. See if I can get this to run a little better. Sometimes if this is up too high, I'll get it back to 100. It might do correctly. Right. Yeah, sometimes I can load a bigger map. If I do it different. Here we go. Now it's correct. Oh, I shouldn't have refreshed. Right, if I go back here at a 6 hour, all right, you'll see guide this storm in here. Do 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 bzz, bzz, bzz. It's created a corridor here and here, right? So things want to come through here. Let me turn those up. They want to come through this direction. Now on the 12, you would have seen them hitting down here as well. Okay, so I'll take it back that far because that's what I had loaded earlier. As you can see, just a prime example of how they got this storm in. Took many radars to do this, and these are not turned on. Right, beam come up, goink. It's a pretty common move. You're going to see lots of them. Right, hit the front of the storm, guide it here, guideline here. There's a beam shooting up here. Right, see him? Right through here. So I'm going to continue on. Right, they blasted it. Made sure that flow stayed separate. Made sure there was no beam on there. You got a bit of a flow. Boom. Create that corridor. Create that corridor, beaming right through it. Straight lines through there. Here could be just breaks in the radar, or where they turn them on and off, and so that you don't see that some straight line beam is going through it, but it just left a straight line. Right, so they're guiding us right through this corridor here. This is a very nasty storm for these folks. This might have had the tendency to go that direction, spread its moisture out, but it's being guided right through this corridor here. It has nowhere else to go. And so, that's an example. And now if I go down here and just try to take you down to the 6s. I go down here to, I believe it was, well, there's a few of them blasting. Okay, so I'll go through them as we see them here. Right, you clearly see this one here. See the wedge shapes pointing right at the radar? Right here. If you put a straight edge up, that V is pointing there. That V is pointing there. And I'm going backwards in time. I'll go to the 1 hour. You'll see it's moved the line. Radars be influencing next red radar towers themselves, the things that supposed to be reporting these storms, supposed to be getting the echo returns from the moisture that they turn into a graph that this one here is at millimeters per hour, and then they try to make it look really red and dark and dangerous, so you get scared of the climate, which is being manipulated and controlled by man. And the biggest guilt of them all is down here. I'm gonna run you at 12. It's coming into shore. Want to see the beams right here? Look, what's it doing? Right as it comes in. You see these lines here? Point right at a radar station, most likely Mount Gambier. All those lines point at it. You ain't making this up. All you're doing is noticing, hey, why are all those lines pointing right at the station? Why are they influencing the clouds? When I see them as well. Very often point them out. This, and I go now load and log. And I've already got it loaded. I just haven't been looking for that specifically because, well, I just want to show you the beams themselves. And I'm going to go look at the beaminations here, which goes back only 4 hours, which would be about a couple hours into this one. So long, so long. How are ya? Now, north of you is the beaminator. Let's see here if we can get it on there. Well, Geelong, you'll be guilty. Let's just find you. They're gonna have to find you. Usually while they're right over the top of you, they do light fannings. So there's something pointing. Pointing line. Now nothing to find like it was over in Seduna. And I'm gonna go through your radars. Nothing to see here. So they must have turned off your radar. It's like you had nothing going on all day. Now let's see if anything was going on this morning out there. Hang on a minute. I ain't buying this. So you had like nothing. Not a single freaking cloud. All morning long. Nothing to see there. I want some sky. Ooh, it's dark, man. It's dark skies. Oh yeah, there's a polluter to land. Sign says you gotta have a membership card to get inside. I guess it's too dark to see much. So let's see, that's now. Oh, that's a nasty looking hanger down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that formation we're so used to seeing. Hey, somebody gotta take your washing in. What's going on out here? Hey, yo, have some respect for whatever that is there. Somebody's will tell me what is it. Paw Patrol. Sunny days. That line's moving around pretty good. Whipping right around. Oh, look at the fryings up here. Bzz, big camera on line. 30 Sanchez. Something came along and deployed. Look. Streamers. The 5. Boom, 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 boom. Right there. See it right there? That's the chem bomb deployment. The flower of death, I often call that one. Oh, even when you're sleeping, they sprayed you like bugs. Wow, that's a very, thank you very much for your camera there. Blessings on the animals right there. And all these in the woods. And whatever's eating on there. Ah, boom, boom. Shh, curler in the skies. Used to be curlers in your hair. Shame on you. Now it's curlers in the sky. No shame at all going on. Right, so I did not succeed in seeing what I was looking for. But you know, about like you told, we can look and look. It's still not fine. Well, we're looking for, there was nothing definitive here. So I'm going to go down to the 1 hour look now. It gives us a little finer examples of what the weather is going on. Tazzy, you got some showersy things going over the top. You got some new snows to look forward to in the next 3 days. The next 24 hours. Not much. Not much. At all. At all. What a bunch of atolls. Yeah, everybody's in agreement. I already said it was coming anyhow. Why? Because I watched the tendrils. I seen where they came from. Hey, you want to see your new snows? Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. So it looks like you got 2 batches of wintry mix coming to the Blue Mountains and to the Alps of Australia. Beaming and beaming and beaming. So let's go right back to the radars that I was looking at earlier. I did see some signs of fuzzinesses up here. They're not really showing too much there, but the wicked glitch is showing up really well here in the National Loopy. For compliments of the Bureau of Morons. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Making the heated corridor, nothing's going to go past. Maybe we catch some action here today while it's going over. Can we actually see the Doppler? Yes, we may. Yeah, with Buster Stones. Any anomalies there? It's hard to see. They got the Ukraine colors up there, so you feel so friendly about. Want to send your kids off to a war that's just not deserved. I've seen no evidence of any big battles. That's right. They show up on sat view, you know. Clouds of smoke. You get fires. I track them all the time. Anybody got any information about backburners? And from what I showed yesterday, I would like that information. Some fairly heavy cells there going over Saddleworth. What we got going on here? What's going on? Sickness mix streamered over the top. Bzzz, the fryer is on. And so is the call. The call is on. Call is on. It's not pointing at 420, that's for sure. What we got here? Bombs off the coast of Adelaide down here. Wine. Only the finest chem bombs going R. Vomiderosa Valley, Wayne. Pfft. Bombs all over the top. It's high deck deployment. Boom, 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 boom. Made a big old K. All they need is 2 more of those, and we'll all feel that our lives matter so fucking much. Special K in your sky. Dumb your asses right on down. You can't make this up. That's not a naturally occurred K's going by, or I would have remembered that as a kid. I would have been saying the alphabet, looking at the sky instead of saying, look at the elephant, look at the ducky. Now I'm saying, would you look at the goat? Bomb, bomb, bomb over here, sickness mix off the coast over here, to block the flow to the strait with a line down there. When it meets that starts a spinner. Oh, isn't that going to be so much joy to participate in with this? Look at this crap right here blowing up off the coast of Tasmania. It's winding up. Ooh, the bombs are going along into the mix, making new clouds. Oh my God, there's right turd cloud. I guess your weather's going to get socked in with that one. Oh, we got another field of, looks like perturbation magnetics over here. They have electromagnetic frequency kind of from their huge ass device down here. Look at these bombs too, because it needs chemical catalysts like, barium and strontium to propagate the EMF waveforms better, and things like aluminum to strip the electrons for the ions needed to make what natural weather would happen, or super lightning strikes. And of course, that aluminum is really good for the big pharma industry as you lose your memory. It's really easy to say, no, gaslight, here's another K. Here's 2 strikes. This bomb's over here. Obvious signs of geoengineering. Pow. 10 minutes later, bang. 10 minutes later, bang, 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 bang. Got more bang than a dong. Oh, then the big old middle finger sticking straight up at your asses. How we looking over here? We get thousands of miles of chemtrails, nearly all the way coast to coast. Toxic coast to coast. 3 days of sickness mixing out. And people be coughing and ordering coffins for it's all said and done. What a bunch of idiots. Bzzz, the frying skies. You can't hide these chem bomb skies. Boom, boom, boom. When chem flies on by, things do die. I don't wonder why. I thought by now you'd realize there ain't no way to hide your lies in the skies. Do do do, boo 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 boo. It's a song about a slag cheating. Fiery eyes and dreams the chem bombs will steal. They party on through the night, anticipating the profit of spying your land and kissing your ass goodbye. But boom, boom, boom. Looking to frying your ass over here. You can't hide these chem bomb skies. Boom, boom, boom. Look at it, even out here in the tropics. Beautiful, unhappily bubbling fish. I'm going to do a quick zip to the east. Whammo. descending the creepy death. This we should make the 10 Commandments again, and if like the angel of death comes along, we'll just use this. Ah, here it comes. Creepy crawlies. Boris was a spider, and his friend Dan. They finally get rid of his ass. There's a big 7. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Like, what the fuck is this? A NASA symbol? Wow, Kanban blowing up here, look. With the, oh my. With the whole oh my of it all. My, oh why Kanban job. Hey. Why did they Kanban job? Boom, 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 boom. As the reef started to go. As the acid levels grow. I'm surprised it ain't fizzing. They say it was something else. Stay away from here. Don't measure that gas. Don't go up there and measure that. Have to have special permissions for everything in your land of the freeze. You be in a freeze, alright. If you ain't got no firewoods or nothing. You breathing smoke off that's all toxic from the fallout of all this crap I've been showing you year in, year out. How many rings on trees now? How many trees never made it from the first time I ever made a video till now? And it fell in the forest and made a noise. But nobody noticed. Boom, right there. Boom. 10 minutes back. So let's see what we got here. Back. Now we got the triangle. Boom. Pellet comes out. What in the hell happened here? Boom, the knuckles nucleus, butterflying effect, flapping his fucking wings, flapping away, wearing trillions of dollars in funding, new taxes, enjoy your new bills, everything you're gonna rent to get out of you better be. What in the hell happened over there, huh? Maybe the pixels ain't come in yet. Boom, boom, plume, plume, plume. Your clock is ready now. Boom, 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 boom. Fallout. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Master's laughing right there. Look at his eyes, his mouth. The Pinocchio nose of the algorithm doing the tap dance on your wallet. Tap dance on your future. Boogeyman nose over here look like all one of them indigenous men. Not too good going on there out near the Great Barrier Reef here. The famous Great Barrier Reef. We seem to be so many barriers of honesty about what could possibly be killing it, and maybe even theories of what is correctly going on are just dismissed because you don't have the same degree as people who can give you a weather forecast if I handed it to her in writing. Morons. Bzz, getting fried Queensland style. Any fire smoke up here going on? Look at the formation in this microwaves. Look at the chemical catalyst being added. 10 minutes forward, 10 minutes forward. Boom, 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 right here with the square. Alamein left and the fuck you go. Boom, boom, boom. The Longines wedge pointing at the 911 and still nobody notices that the emergency is going on. Oh my. Number please. Number please. Cameron. Number please. Cameron. Right over the top of New Zealand. You ain't forget about you guys. Ain't forgot about you at all. This big line of shit right here just bombing away. Boom. How many directions of the wind, or do you have a beam line going on up there? Let's run this for a minute. Yeah. Everything comes up and stops. Everything goes down and stops. You got a beam shooting out up here. See the dividing line? There and there and there and there. There and there and there and there. Pointing at unknown radar stations. It's coming across the ocean at you. Stop. Ooh, the ass snake. Oh, look, it's the griffin with the tail. That's in my imaginary. It's one of those things. Look at the dots here. That's a Kanban deployment. Right out here in the ocean. Right over the ocean. There might be a whale. And it breathes that in. Maybe it's coughing under the water. Maybe the whales are getting pneumonia. Let's look at the streamers. Right here. For your race. Open your eyes and look up to the skies. You'll see. Ass. What a fucking shame. Let's have a good look at this. What is that? It's chem bombs being deployed right over here. Microwave standing waveforms. Bzzz. See it when the chem interacts with it. Nucleates to condensates particles of various niches, of which we all deserve an honest answer of what is in there, because that is always the question of the day. And we deserve an honest answer to that. And by golly, I aim to get one. Look at the deployment here. We'll get some cities in. I'm a little turd around. I know where fucking 20 is right here near the square. This is here. It's never good. Because this thing's butt up against it. That waveform shocks the land a little bit differently. How many squares you got out here? Was it another big 7, or is that just an ass with a big hole in it bent over? I don't know. It's like somebody gardening in an inappropriate manner. Yeah, that's right. I said that. I'm going to say lots of things you probably don't like. I dang sure don't like reporting that there's a swastika approaching the coast of New Zealand. Watch out. The stormtroopers are on the way. Boom, 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 and plume, boom, and plume. Acid rain. I want some readings on the rain. I want some pHs. We might be getting some rain here today, so I'll take some pH readings. And while I'm thinking about it, Ireland, you're fucked. And I'm going to have a quick zoom over to me. Yeah, so you guys can have a quick look at what's going to go on here in the UK. And UK, you're fucked. We're having a big line that's going to come over. Over the last 6 hours, you've been blasting. Absolutely blasting. Ain't expecting it. Oh, you turd Limerick, Garf? You cunts. Okay, how about now? Yeah, that's who was guilty earlier. Edit the feed much? Not want you to see much? Nazis, didn't expect me. You see those rays pointing down here, different colors, right? Various colors of the Ukraine flag. Had you see in front of you to make you want that color and march your kids to war. I hate war. Always remember war sucks. That should be the slogan for Remembrance Day. There are no glorious dead, there's just dead. Quit carrying grudges and remember that war sucked. A beam coming in here from the Point of Air, this island here, most likely Douglas. And we have another beam coming from here. Alright, it's not liking that. I'll do that again. Back on the 6. Well, look at the blastings here, eh? Well, that was worth a refresh. Hi, can you get any more prime example of weather manipulation than this? There's some terrible lines of storms coming across here today, and there's some nasty totals coming. That's right, it works now. Right, as the storm comes through, they fan it on, fueling it, pow, making flows in between those beams that fuel the winds, that make each one of those cells have the natural conditions it needs to continue its job of whatever is wanted, that the D-Wave computer has got to be controlling weather, because there's no way a single person can make this calculation. All of those are pointing toward a single spot. Weather manipulation. And you get some big totals coming too. I'm going to do a quick zip on totals while I'm here. And on the 3s, it's looking like you're going to start to get a good shocking. I zoom back to the whole UK. And the 5s, ooh, and then a whammo. Big whammo. So we will be watching for these big swaths coming across the island. I expect the Shannon to be roaring, and don't be caught out on it. It would be a very dangerous thing to do. Some spots like on the East Coast, Hull, Scunthorpe, you might hit some totals. Scunthorpe's very bad as far as drainage goes. I know, I lived there before. So we'll be watching out for what comes through here and down the Trent and up the Humber. Hear this, right? The Trent. It's box stuff. They got locks all on it for shipping. Johnny, how you doing, man? What is it, a big fryer there, wasn't it? I saw a big fryer. Bzzz, getting fried. Is it aiming? Is it moving? Is it being operated? Yeah, it is. It's aiming. It's definitely aiming. It's being operated, but I don't know. It's a radio telescope. 1, 2, 3. What do they fry you for? Because you let them. Oh yeah, it's panning. It's definitely panning. See, it keeps changing direction. It's moving from this way to that way. See? It's panning. That's just straight up. Might be collecting a signal. That's a big boy right there. These are stairs. Wow. It's not small fish. Small fish. Small fries. Small fries. That was interesting to see, wasn't it? We got Harrogate up here. Twinned with a big old antenna over in Australia. So we get some totals coming over here to the UK that you're going to be wanting to know about. Big sweats across Europe ain't looking too healthy for a lot of countries. And John Sal heads up down here. You got some action. I'm expecting some earthquakes for you. And Save Gillam. Save Gillam. I always like saying that. And some terrible totals still to come on the fives up through this passage here where there's a growing region through here. It's just going to be devastating. They didn't get much rain, so the soils were really hard. And this is what's the rest of that typhoon thingy is coming to bring it ashore. It's really bad. And then you got a second storm that's going to be coming through. And again, you hit the two biggest growing regions. It's a bad thing. And as I come down here, it's not looking much better. Which way do you want it? West to east or east to west? Fine. I'll come over here. Yeah, we'll go west to east. Wah, 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 wah. I'm not buying them totals. So they're going to let some in, turn on the beams, force the storm north, and bring it in. Oh, that's interesting. To meet this cold air here, that then makes that happen over there. Okay, that ought to be interesting. So let's watch the totals proceed. Bring a little in. Yeah, you fold it. Work it up the coast. Make sure you get the moisture spread out in the tendrils that you want it. Make those last deals with the landowners and say, right, fuck you, Fitzroy Crescent. Fuck you, Derby. Fuck you down here again. Expect those totals to rise. This is not a good situation that's about to develop at this area here. I'm going to get you a nail down on the exact path of those as I look at the beams over the next coming days. It's going to take about 3 days to work that in. And that's going to be remnants from that storms that come in from the Indian Ocean. Yeah, that's coming to visit you. The Kimberley shot here one day is gone another, and it's not looking good here after the Battle of Hastings again. I told you, man, Harold took it right in the eye there by William the Conqueror. So maybe make sure you cover it. What's the lesson on the one-eyed guy getting shot so William the Conqueror came over? Boy, the light bulb just went on and illuminated that topic. Hey, Kaikora. Uh-oh. Spaghettios. That's on the fives. Then double it. Yeah, you got those situations coming. Huh? Yeah, it's not looking good. Huh? Fuck a 20. Huh? On your fives. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Yeah, but not all are in agreement. But everybody says, man, you are fucked, man. You're looking about 20 centimeters of water coming through here at any given time. Anytime at all, they're gonna be, and is it the fa? Oh, that's a Wairo. And okay, I'm gonna try a new haka. The new haka. The new haka is with middle fingers in the air, where you just don't scream. You actually go do what I see in your eyes when you do those beautiful traditional dances. Because if it's without no action, you're just dancing. Dancing. Oh my God. Heads up. For some reason, they say, Nelson, you're spared. But you know, I'm not always in agreement with things, Appleby. Eh? Ooh, my pua is bigger than yours. Like the guy in Guardians. Pinch back. I didn't need to see the word pinch after talking what I just said. Okay, I'm going to zoom back now before I start talking about pinching laws and being the masterton of it. Riversdale. That's without a place, man. Why don't we indigenous that name too? We'll just blackwash that over to it. You could still have the same attitudes in the towns. So if we could just all get along now, yeah, that would be great. Carter Town. Featherston. I'm just looking at where all these canals and all these waterways here. So anything coming down here is going to affect that for sure. You poor folks. It looks like they're giving you a sweat. You're going to get a sweat. Everybody says you're getting a sweat. How can they be that dead accurate, but they can't tell you what the weather's going to be like tomorrow? How come? Because they don't understand geoengineering. They don't understand that behind every boom there's a plume. And how to read microwaves and to see when they say it's a glitch. Ooh, that's a Cygnus mix deployment up here. With the waveform coming up, hemming it. They don't understand things. They don't get past it. They're just reading a piece of paper. The piece of paper tells them that they know what they're talking about. And you know what? I could give a shit about their piece of paper because paper rips when your ass is wet. You know, now all I see is their excuses, and they're all wet. From Cooper Petey over here, chem-bombed all the way to freaking the tip at Xmas Super Fryer. From the point down here up there to Hobart, all the way over here to Auckland. So now I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to do the run the tape. Everybody all at once. And it's not looking good for your batches today because look, it's an up and around where it strips from one storm and brings to the other. Come on, they can't even tell me right now exactly both of them agree with what's going on. The stuff from over here is being stripped in, it's buttoned up against the thumb, and it's carrying it in over Hawke's Bay and all that. And yeah, exactly. So I'm going to just roll it without some of the drama on it, so maybe it'll be a little bit clearer. Turn some of that off. Let's turn some of this off. And I'm not going to cover fires. I'm feeling a bit tired. So watch for a minute. Told you this was going to happen about a week ago. I had to push some of the dates back because the beams will make things alter. I see that big line coming in from the Indian Ocean. Watch how it gets held at. A line comes up through here, pushes back to Maine, and starts to move up coast. I want to watch this walking move. They're going to let a bit of it in. Where's the main body? New Zealand, you're steadily pumped in. Cold air is now starting to come up into this batch here. It's going to mix into the tail end of this. This has got cold air from this here. This low here is turned in this direction. Bit of a high out here is pumping that cold up into the back side of this to help fuel the back of that storm. All right, I'll continue. Let this run. My water. Water, I love you. Water is my friend. It's not water's fault that it's being misused as for geoengineering. I'm going to jump a little quicker. See it start to spread up the mountains. That's going to bring that cold air into the truck. So make sure you bring your warm clothes camping. Don't be burning the woods down. Just stay warm. Don't be an idiot. And some storms spreading up into Perth there on Tuesday. My time. We're on my time now. You figure it out. You got to learn what England's time is. You'll say, hey Google, what time? Blah, blah. Well, that's going on. I'm going to, shut up, Google. I'm going to, turn on and see what kind of comments we get. Comments, yes sirree. Let's see, they want to step us useless eaters. Well, they try to call us useless eaters there, Sarah, but meanwhile, Where would they make their product if nobody useful made the robot or rang their own groceries? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, though. I fully agree with your point. You get the world clock. Yeah, yeah, they got the whole world clock, too. They just put it in really small like a worm, and it just ate until it inflated with a great big bell end. You never know when it's going to pop up. Under whose dress. Oh, see, that double front is never good at that pinch point. You guys gonna get quakes, and it's lined up right with the chromatic trench. This is very, very high earthquake risk, and I know there's the moon position as well for that time. Not good, not good at all. And we watching this very closely. What's the winds like? Pretty steady. Continue in new snows. Yeah, a little tickle. It's mostly Australia needs more of a ski season. Looks like. Well, let's continue. I can read your comments though. Babe. It's bad here at Mount Gambier. Elaborate there, please, Viv Hooper. Lightning, hail, anything, damaging winds. Garbage cans dancing down the street. I don't know. Now it's just a memory of watching a hurricane in Connecticut that came in daytime. Yeah, it was garbage can dancing down the street. That in a tree. A small tree. Danced. It was leaning sideways. It was bouncing up and down, danced down the street. I was a kid. There was no high. We actually played on bikes. Oh man, we can't go outside today. And it was during the day. The only worst thing could have been if Watergate was going on. You had to deal with Nixon. These poor kids nowadays, they must have so much crap to deal with between Hillary's emails that never amounted to nothing and trying to frame Donald Trump. Hey, I won't vote for the guy because his record towards buying his vaccines and warp speeding and Clean Air Act shredding and standing on Standing Rock. Yeah, I think that's good enough reason for this American voter to point at something that's not a rumor. Right, or a frame out. That's what you did by executive order, means you're king. You see your second batch come in there, New Zealand, they very nonchalantly yak through that one. Get big actions coming through New South Wales. They'll probably be well overnight on the Friday the 23rd. Oh, we get what are their numbers? A 23 in 2023 is always a sacrifice day around the world. I've noticed. Numerology, there's something to be said for the geometry. There's number systems that could come up with the devil an exorbitant amount of times. Oh my! And again, just the hammering of the thumb here. I'm surprised why that the water's all blue. Yeah, it's because the thumbnail has turned blue. What a fucking shame. Yeah, let's see what your totals are going to be around the Auckland area over the next 10 days. We might have to move around for safe spots. Alright, start out over here. Stay away from the volcanoes just in case they decide they need some extra sulfur in the air and you'll be a prime spot for that.